20 minutes. I'm going to host right now.
We on?
Yeah, I'm coming. You know I can edit this part out, these bloopers.
Oh, you sucker MC thing got nothing.
Hey, yo, I'm going to put that part in there.
I'm
going to put that in there.
Or inside with a sneak in your door and make love to your women on the bathroom floor. I don't play the shit. You know it's me. Because the next time you see it, she be like, oh, Kevin D.
That's going in the reel. I just want you to know that.
Man ripped his shirt off.
Yeah.
Kevin G.
So, all right, let's get back into character. We are back with the wiretap.
Stop, because you're going to make me keep laughing.
All right.
Stop, Gary. All
right, y'all. We back. We took a little break, reset. We're going to finish these questions up, and let's get into it. So, question 6. Did you... Oh, this kind of serious. We about to get serious. Y'all ready?
Hey, stay ready, so you gotta get ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you experience any sort of depression through this experience?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, get y'all shit off. Go ahead.
Ladies first.
So, I've always been one to suffer depression and anxiety, and it actually took me years to actually admit to it.
Mm-hmm.
But having kids, and I wouldn't say doing it on my own, but doing it on my own has really like put a stress to it, because it's like I've had so many good job opportunities that I had to turn down because it didn't fit their schedule, or if they get sick, I'm the one that has to take them to the doctors or the hospital. I'm the one that has to pick them up from school, and it's just so much that come into it, like, and with their behavior issues and stuff, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and like I said, already having depression, it just triggers. Like, I'm on medication for it because it gets so overwhelming at times, but they also give me that push to keep going. Like, it be times where I honestly just want to throw in the towel, but I have people who are dependent on me now. So
Right.
It's like a pro and a con.
No, I get it. Because I've, before you answer, Mill, react in certain ways to certain people who I felt may have triggered my depression. Before I discovered accountability, I was blaming other people. Mm-hmm. And, once I got to therapy and everything, it helped me realize, like, okay, like you said earlier, I put myself in these situations. So in turn, I can get myself out of these situations. And it's very possible. It's slow work, because when you putting yourself in a hole, you don't really realize it until, you start feeling the weight of life. But you can definitely get yourself out. It's just, one step at a time, because you didn't realize you were taking one step at a time to get yourself in that predicament. But now that you are aware, you just kind of want the results to just hurry up. But once you realize that, it's just one day at a time, all those days add up, and then you just where you want to be.
Yeah, for me, it was more like a series of bad parenting moments. Mm-hmm. And then it just builds up. And then once you have like one of those like, big depressive episodes, and it's like, damn, you know what? For men, I'm going to say, like, since, you want to be the active father, you want to be that provider, you kind of feel like, all right, am I doing enough? I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I don't feel like I'm around enough. I don't feel like, they're getting the attention. I don't feel like I'm giving them everything that they need. I don't feel like I'm giving them everything that I never had. Stuff like that. Like, man, I remember my first time taking her to the movies. It was just me and her. I actually dumped a bucket of popcorn on this girl.
Oh, what? How?
We were actually leaving the movies. I was being greedy. So this is the funny part, because I was getting a refill. So I was like, I'm gonna eat this shit on the way home, right? Then I was getting a drink too, and somehow she was in a car seat, and it was attached to the stroller, and she was only, how old was she? Maybe like 1 or a couple months shy of 1, but the bucket fell She was buried, and I was like, shit. And next, you know, I see her trying to eat the popcorn. I'm like, you can't eat popcorn yet. So I pulled her out, and I picked her up, and she just got popcorn just falling out of her. I'm like, fuck. I look around, people are looking at me. I'm just like, oh, I'm a bad dad. So I'm trying to shake out the car seat, I'm trying to dust her off, and this lady was like, do you need some help? I looked at her, and I was like, if you take my baby, I will beat you up. So I like handed my baby off to this strange woman, and then like I'm watching her as I'm shaking the car seat out, like literally not taking my eyes off. I'm just like shaking the car seat out, making sure all the popcorn's out. Like, do not take off with that damn kid.
I had a dumb moment.
Yeah. I was at Walmart. I was at Walmart, and it was very cold out and windy outside, and I had both of my kids, and they were a few months, so I had to carry both car seats, and I had to get their formula milk. And I had the cashier they had all these cans in one bag that wasn't double bagged. So by the time I got outside, that shit bust straight through. Cans rolling down the street. I got both car seats in my hand. I'm trying to go catch these cans because they didn't get the ordinary formula. They had the $50. I can't remember what it was called, but one was $50 a can and one was about $30.
Oh yeah, you needed them. Yeah, you gotta get them. Yeah, you gotta get.
And you're sitting there like,
yo, and I'm like, the kids, the cans. The kids, the cans. So I had to hurry up, put them in the car. I didn't even fully put them like in the little car thingy. But then I had to go run after all the cans. I was pissed. But I'm thinking all this time, I'm holding them. I could have just put them in a fucking cart.
yeah.
Like what am I doing? But I was like, that was a catastrophe.
Another bad parenting moment before my youngest was born. She was actually we were doing in the middle of her maternity shoot. Well, the end of her maternity shoot. It just so happens that there was like this bridal like expo. How we were having the paternity shoot at. So we just went just to like look at stuff, you know, got some free samples of food and whatnot. My youngest, she was about to turn 1 at the time, right? So she all ran bunches up her down so she could run around. And I remember that they had this like candied bacon, like candied pepper bacon, right? We had gave her some earlier. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, but it was good. So don't judge me, right? So it was weird, it was good. I'm sitting there. I'm just walking because you know how 1-year-olds is. They run this way, they run that way. All you doing is walking. And the one time I wasn't fast enough, that little girl picked up a piece of bacon and ate that shit off the floor. I said, "Yup, time to go." Because you want to know why? It was a bunch of white people out there, and I can't look.
I automatically thought of that when you said pepper bacon. Like
I looked at Mike. She said, "What happened?" I said, "We gotta go. We have to go." She said, "What happened?" She ate bacon off the floor. We have to go.
Oh, yeah.
ASAP. We gotta go. Like, let's go. People are sitting there like, "Oh, that's so cute." No, she just ate bacon off the floor in this strange ass place. We gotta go. I wasn't fast enough. Let's go. I picked her up and she like literally swallowed it. I'm like,
I think my bad parent moment was maybe in my discipline. He had done something that is like forbidden in my book. He had put his hands on a little girl, and I kind of I think I kind of overdid it.
What you mean?
Like spanking wise. And, you know, I kind of like jacked him up a little bit. But it was just like, I was just like, how could you put yourself in the position? Like, again, I don't know what's happening on the other side. But I know on my side, you don't see nobody put their hands on women. You don't see me disrespect women. You don't see me do any of that. So why would you then feel the need or act upon, you know, a request from another person to put your hands on this young lady? And I remember Courtney told me to take a break. She told me like, yo, just go outside. Because I was just that furious. And I know he's a kid, but it's just like, what is going on for you to even, you know, want to do that? Like,
what's the root to it?
Yeah, like what is the root issue here? And that made me feel like a bad parent, because it was just like, is my discipline not enough? Am I not as stern? Because again, and I don't know if this was the same experience for y'all, I was scared of my dad for the longest time. I was very afraid of my dad. So anything that I did, Either I really had to be really good with not getting caught, or I just didn't do it. Because I didn't want the repercussions that came with it. And it's like, for him, he knows what's going to happen if I find out what's going on. But at this point, you know, we got to try to find other avenues to help him, because at this point, it just seems more like impulsiveness.
But if it's not something that's consistent, then I feel like it could be something that he can learn, because, I mean, everybody has to learn from, well, I wouldn't say you always learn from experience. Sometimes you can just learn from seeing someone else, but he's a kid. So, right. I mean, if it's not a habit.
No, well, the habit was him just in general putting his hands on people.
Okay.
So that was the thing. But that situation led to him putting his hands around her neck and dragging her through the playground. And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I remember even when I got the text message, I said, like, what? Like, he did what?
Yeah.
Like, where's that coming? Like, so it's like, I had my moments when it comes to that, because I'm trying to give him an understanding that, you know, you already got one strike against you because you're black. You know, no matter how successful you are, they're going to still look at you a certain way. And you making some of these choices, you know, for you, it's a little different because you have young girls. But for us, you know, and not to say that black women aren't looked at as threats, but with us, it's a completely different ball game, you know, with the influences and, you know, other people who may fear you. They try to make it look like it's not from a place of fear, but it really is. Yeah. And you might not end up coming home, or you might not, you know, or you might put yourself in a situation where you're behind bars. You know, in my career field, I see it every day. I see these young kids, 21, 22, 23. The most time I seen somebody get was 250 years at 20. You know, and he had it. Like, he had it made. Both parents, you know, I don't know where he went wrong, but it's like, when you hear that, even in my mind, I couldn't process that. And I'm not even dealing with the situation. So I can only imagine what he thinking. Like, yo, I'm only 20, 250 years. Like, I'm dying in here.
That's the scariest part, though. It's like, we try to protect our kids as much as possible and, you know, nurture them and care for them and do everything a parent is supposed to do. But sometimes it is out of our hands, like, especially when they get of age and they start surrounding themselves around different people. Like, sometimes it's out of our control to when they surround themselves around the wrong people. Like, I know people that came up, like, I think you said this before, but like in 2-parent households, a good family, good structure, everything, but they just surrounded themselves with the wrong people, and they made bad choices. I'm thankful that, because it was family, and I'm thankful that it didn't lead to certain consequences that they couldn't come back from. But I saw it firsthand. Like, it don't matter what you do as a parent.
Yeah, just your child.
There's certain things that you just have no control over.
And that's true.
And like, what I've come to realize is, like, there's only so much that we can actually protect our kids from. But at the end of the day, we got to prepare our kids for, you know, that time in the event that we ain't here anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And I tell Adrian that all the time.
Shout out to Black Panther.
I tell him every time, like, I'm not going to be here forever to keep doing things for you. You're going to have to learn some stuff on your own.
Like there's going to be a time when I'm not around anymore, and I'm not. Even though I'm Superman in their eyes, I can't be everywhere at once.
Exactly. So
like, no matter how much we want to protect them from everything, it's impossible. So we have to prepare them for that event.
Yeah.
That we're no longer here.
That's true. So, good. Question 7: what hurt you the most about this experience in parenting?
It's knowing that I am not going to have forever with them. You know? Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to see them, like, what's the word? That, in fact, there's no real way to, like, put it.
Right, I know what you mean.
Like I just said, like, everybody has an end coming. So to know that, you know, you're sitting here watching them grow up,
you won't see their end game.
Yeah, you won't see their end, and if you do, then that's devastating. I don't wish that on anyone.
Right.
Like you don't see once they have their career and their family, and I mean, you may still be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people are lucky enough to be around.
But it's like,
in the day and age we live in, it's not guaranteed for nobody. So it's like, all right, my end is coming, you know, at any point in time.
Well, hopefully, no time soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but I want to say what I meant was, what was the worst experience in this with dealing with the other individual?
Oh, I hit that, and I'll put that in the wrong direction.
No, you good. You good, boss. That was deep though. Well, I let you roll because it was very sentimental. So I was. Yeah.
It still had value.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I was like, I let you. I was like, no, I'm talking about with the parenting in general. What's the worst? Even if it's dealing with the other parent, what is the worst?
I apologize for going first. For me, it's got to be the aspect of one parent thinking they have absolute control over everything that goes on with the children. It's like, look, like we said, it takes two to lay down and make these babies. How can one like take
full responsibility? Especially,
like, granted, I know I'm not there 24/7. However, that's soon to be changing.
Right.
At the same time, it's like, all right, you still kind of want to maintain that whole, I'm the primary caregiver.
Right. But I feel like that only comes up when it's convenient. Yeah. That's never brought up. Like, from my perspective, it's never really brought up in a space where things are going good for both sides.
Right.
It's only brought up when something is inconvenient, inconvenes the other person. At least in my experience, I feel like, we talked about this before. I dealt with a situation and it was like, oh, you're trying to keep him here because it's convenient, not because it's what's in his best interest, but it allows you to operate in the space of convenience, picking him up, dropping him off. It's free. And then what I'm talking about is camp. It's free. Like why wouldn't you want him to go there? But at the same time, it was inconveniencing me and my responsibilities outside of children. And that's the thing I think a lot of people kind of misconstrue. Once you do step into co-parenting, people try to make you or belittle you for still having responsibilities outside of the child. It's like, why do I need to be the one to jeopardize my job? Like, I understand this is my child. And yes, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to sacrifice what I need to sacrifice. But exactly, why is it I have to sacrifice my job in order for you to have your convenience?
Bitterness.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes it's not even just bitterness. Because me and my ex, at the time she was going to school, I was still working. But she was in the process of like either going on campus or doing like online school. But she was like, oh, well, I can't do, my school with the babysitters. We might put her in daycare. I'm like, all right, cool, let's put her in daycare. That led to me like, sometimes like waking up extra early and dropping her off at school and then like rushing from work. That way I could pick her up. So I'm just like, all right, someone's got to get. Like, granted, I know you're in school. However, that's just how I feel from my standpoint. But
like you said, certain situations got to make sense.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it has to.
So, what has been the worst experience in this for you?
The worst experience, I would say, is not being. I don't want to play the blame game, but I feel like I would be a better mom if the other parent was involved, because
That is a lot to process.
There's so much that goes into that.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
it's like I have so much responsibility. Like, I have a lot of responsibility, and it's like,
At no point in time
know-
they function 100%.
oh my gosh. Like, I have personal issues within myself, but it's like I can't even take care of myself. Like, it's been years since I've actually took care of myself the way I need to, because I have to pour all of it into my children.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the worst, because I know that if their dad was around, I would have that time to myself. I would have more patience. I would have more energy. Like, I be drained every single day. I have to work. I have to get up early, get myself ready, get them ready, take them to school, go to work. My job is fast paced. Then get off of work, pick them up, feed them, bathe them, get our stuff out for tomorrow, give myself a shower, and then do it all over again every single day. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like it takes a toll on me mentally, and then it affects my parenting skills.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's the worst, because I know for a fact that if their dad was consistently around, I would be a better parent to my kids. And that makes me feel bad to even say it, but it's
No, it's the truth. I mean,
True.
like I heard once before, you are the most important person you got to deal with. And
you gotta take care of yourself in order to take care of others.
yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
how am I going to, like you said, pour into other things if I'm not completely where I need to be? You know, I remember people who used to tell me like, oh, I put my kids first, and I don't believe that's like the cause, because if you putting your kids first, you're not mentally where you need to be. You're stressing, you're doing everything else. You know, you just keep putting them first.
Yeah.
You end up finding yourself in a crazy position. You get what I'm saying?
You're gonna find yourself in those more depressive episodes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going double back to the last question real quick. Whenever I felt like I was in those depressive episodes, the one thing that really brought me out of those depressive episodes was my kids. At the same time, in order to stay out of those depressive episodes, I had to take care of myself.
Right.
You know, it's a lot that goes into it.
Do you ever find yourself experiencing guilt about your choices?
Yes. Like, I love my kids to death. Like, anybody who knows me know I love my kids. But I regret bringing them. First of all, I regret bringing them into this world. This world is so evil and cruel, and I'm such a paranoid person that it really scares me every single day to know that my kids are living on this earth. Like, I would never
I know what you're
cause
saying.
any harm.
Yeah.
But it's just like, gosh, the way this world is, it sucks. And two, it's like, I thought I lost my train of
No, go ahead. And two,
thought. No, I lost my train of thought. What was the question? Say the question one more time.
what do you feel guilty about in this experience?
Oh, and I wish that I would have been more smart about choosing.
Their father.
Yes, like,
But see, I think in your situation, that was going to be difficult to do,
my
especially.
situation is not the same from a lot of females.
Yeah, you had someone telling you they wanted this
Like,
experience. They've shown you they can handle the experience. So then, for why wouldn't you go through with the
things
pregnancy?
people do
That's fun.
for
Pom pom.
pom pom
Pom
is crazy. Like, I just like y'all, like not y'all, but like people will.
No, I've done
really
some crazy things.
go to the extreme. I start to think like, what, you don't get none? Like, honestly, like, is it hard for you to come across
No,
it? Because
it's not that.
it's like, why do y'all have to play with people's feelings and lie and say whatever you feel like you need to say? Just to, like, it's so many females, there's so many people out here that is on the same time as you. Females nowadays, I feel like is on nigga time.
Right.
So why do you have to come in here and mess up how, like,
Because the infatuation is with you.
I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
that we ain't even got time to get.
But I can tell you, it's really just the infatuation is with you.
But it's like, if you, and I told him this plenty of times, if you would have been open and honest and real upfront like I was, we would not be in this situation right now. If you would have told me you didn't want kids, if you told me that you had no real interest in me and stuff like that, I would have.
2 minutes.
So now you're dumb. You're shut up.
Everybody gets
So you lying, and look at the situation you put yourself in by lying.
Yeah, because
versus telling the truth, and we would not be going through this.
Because
right now.
at the end of the day, even
Look what pussy cost you.
wasting their time is you wasting your own. So, or like you said, you could put yourself in the worst off situation. So, all right, this is the last one, and we out of here. What advice would you give to single parents, and what would you say to parents who don't handle their responsibilities?
I'm sorry, say one more time.
What advice would you give to single parents, and for those who don't handle their responsibilities, what would you say?
Honestly, I don't have much advice for single parents because I'm still learning as I go. Just keep fighting a good fight. Your kids need you, and every little bit makes a difference. Like, your kids see everything. You are what your kids see all the time. You need to make sure you be a good influence for them.
Yeah. My advice to single parents will be raise your kids to be the people that you want to deal with on a daily basis. Don't be their friend. Don't be too hard on them. Treat them like regular people, because at the end of the day, they are regular people.
Yeah.
Me, I'm super relaxed with my kids. We sit there, we talk, we chill. You know, we go out to eat. You know, we play games and stuff like that. Like, we'll be out in public playing three-way thumb wars. You know, we have fun. So just treat them like the people that you want to deal with. Like, you know, we all run into those people that's like, I can't stand this motherfucker. Not stand them. Treat them to be the person be like, you know what? I enjoy having this person around me.
Yeah, I can tell you had some home training. Yeah.
You know, you have home training. So that means, you know, be little friends. Don't be that over strict parent. Have the you know, the punishment match the crime, and just raise them with some common sense. You know, like, you ain't gotta be that. Everything don't gotta be soft parenting, and everything ain't gotta be like, all right, cool, belt to ass.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Well, thank you. That ends our first episode. We'll be back with the shop next week. I got a slew of barbers to interview. So thank y'all for tapping in, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye. Woo! I gotta pee again.